So I guess I don't know where they're going with this, because it looks like she was basically a rising star, and then the videos containing Cardi basically pushed her above and beyond. So just continue on. The September 19th video contains multiple false defamatory statements about the plaintiff. The video contains the false, malicious, and defamatory statement that the plaintiff was a prostitute at section 40. You said that Cardi B prostituted. Jones, yes. The September 19th video contains a false, malicious, and defamatory statement that plaintiff used cocaine and Molly. Section 40. Kibi, was she a drug user? Ms. Jones, yes. Kibi, contained Molly and, to be specific? Jones, yes. I'm sorry. Kibi, cocaine and Molly, to be specific, yes. The video also contains a false, malicious, and defamatory statement that the plaintiff has herpes. Section 48. Kibi, she has herpes. Jones, yes. The video contains the false, malicious, and defamatory statement that the plaintiff also had herpes outbreaks on her mouth in the past. And then section 1725. Kibi, so you were living with her at the time she had herpes. She had a herpes outbreak on her mouth. Jones, yes. Upon information and belief, Kibi published the September 19th video to millions of individuals without privilege and justification. None of the aforementioned statements about the plaintiffs are true. Plaintiff was never a prostitute or user of Molly and cocaine. Plaintiff has never and does not now have herpes, nor has she had herpes outbreak on her mouth. Upon information and belief, defendant knew or should have known that the aforementioned statements were false. Now, again, so all of that I just read is going to boil down to facts, right? So I am just going to say that herpes is a very, very common affliction that many people have, right? And this gets tricky because Cardi B, whether she has it or not, she could possibly have it. She could possibly have it and not know that she has it, right? So I did a video when I was looking into the R. Kelly herpes allegation. I did an incomplete series on that, right? And it boils down to the fact that the herpes virus is high in African American women. That's what the CDC is saying. I'm not sure if that's true. Half the times you can't believe a lot of this information that's coming from these alleged authorities on certain things, because sometimes they put out false information to control the public. But according to this Center for Disease and Control, African American women in general are more prone to have the virus, and then African American women are at a higher rate. That's information coming from the CDC. You want that information? Go to my YouTube page, look up the R. Kelly's herpes allegation. Somewhere in that series, there's going to be a video where a doctor comes out and basically gives us information. Herpes is a very common affliction, so I would hate to see that Cardi B basically says she doesn't have it, and she is somehow subjected to a test that reveals that she does have it. So it's kind of tricky. As far as the cold sores on her mouth, the only way that Jones could basically prove that is that if she's taken a photo, or if she's maybe have other people to corroborate her claim, right? So this all comes down to fact. Now, I do remember seeing a video where it looked like it was Cardi B before she was famous, and it did look like she had a cold sore on her mouth. Now, I'm just gonna put out there that it looked like Cardi B. I'm not saying it was Cardi B. Um, we live in a deep fake age, right? Where anybody can just take your face and they can put it on anybody else's body, and they can give you cold sores and all this other type of stuff. So we live in a deep fake age. But I did see a video. I'll see if I can find that video later, but you guys can probably just Google it and you can probably find a video. I'm not saying that's Cardi. I don't know that it's Cardi, but it appeared to be Cardi, or at least it appeared to be Cardi's image. and it did appear to have a cold sore on it, on her lips. But again, we live in a deep fake age. You can't believe your eyes. It used to be you couldn't believe everything you heard. Now you can't really believe everything you see because people are making videos and making it look like people are saying things that they didn't say, and they can also make it look like you have something that you don't have. So I'm just throwing it out there. Sorry to go on a tangent. Upon information and belief, defendants were subjectively aware of the probable falsity of the aforementioned statements in the time they published them. On a second YouTube channel operated by Kibi, I didn't know that Kibi had two YouTube channels, posted a video that acknowledges that she was aware prior to her publishing of the September 19 video that the defamatory statements made by Jones may not have been true. So, according to this, Tasha K comes out and says, she said, hey, this might not be true. Upon information and belief, Kibi further acknowledges and that she published the September 19th video a day earlier that she planned to because information undermining Jones's credibility was about to be published, and Kibi wanted to she wanted she wanted the September 19th video to have an opportunity to trend, gain viewership before people saw the information that would debunk Jones' statements. So this is crazy. So they're saying that Kibi knew that she may have known that the stuff that Jones was saying wasn't true, but she wanted to make sure that video got in as many hits as possible. Upon information and belief, the aforementioned defamatory statements were made and published by the defendants with actual malice, with knowledge that the statements were false, or with reckless disregard for the fact that they were false. On about September 19, 2018, shortly after Kibi published the September 19th video, plaintiff, through her counsel, sent a cease and desist letter to Kibi that demanded immediate removal of defamatory video. So they're basically saying, hey, look, stop what you're doing. You're ruining my reputation. You're ruining my career. Please stop. They're begging her at this point. I guess I'm kind of embellishing. They're not really begging her. I don't know what the letter said, but a cease and desist is basically you telling another person to stop before there's legal action. 2 days after receiving the letter, which she posted on social media rather than take the video down or issuing a retraction and or repudiation, Kibi published a second video that falsely proclaimed statements made in September 19th video were true. So having already acknowledged that the information may not be true, she gets a cease and desist letter basically telling her to stop. This basically, in my mind, in my opinion, enraged Tasha K to say, you know what, F you. I can do what I want to do. I'm finna now that you coming to me with this, I'm finna just keep posting more video, and now I'm finna say it's true. So on around September 21st, 2018, Kibi published a second video entitled Actual Proof. Cardi B new ex-roommate Drake, Funky Deneva versus Tamar, Beyonce Black Magic, where she unequivocally stated that everything said in the September 19th video was true. In the September 21st video, Kibi claims that everything that we said and everything that Jones said was accurate. Video at section 2 minutes 11 seconds. That Kibi was the source, and September 21st video at 4 minutes 38 seconds. Upon information and belief, Kibi even went so far as to falsely suggest that she was in possession of undisclosed facts that would support the prior statements that when further claimed Jones has shown me some stuff that I said, okay, legit. I'm sorry, I'm not following this. Upon information and belief, Kibi even went so far as to falsely suggest that she was in possession of undisclosed facts that would support the prior statement when she further claimed that Jones has shown me some stuff. I said, okay, legit, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you the story. September 21st, 8 minutes 12 seconds. Since then, Kibi has continued her campaign of defamation and harassment, even as recently as January 25th, 2019, Kibi tweeted and plaintiff had herpes. Specifically tweeting at plaintiff, Kibi wrote that plaintiff had confirmed had a irritated P. We all know what that means, which she followed with the herpes B 125 tweet. Upon information and belief, the 125 tweet was published to Kibi's over 6,000 followers. Upon information and belief, shortly after it was posted, knowing it was not true, Kibi deleted the post. However, as set forth below, she has failed and refused to repudiate and take down the other instances of defamatory statements in the actual videos described. Now, this basically just goes on and on about the allegations against Kibi and basically facts. And I'm going to say these are facts because they are pointing to specific videos where this information is at. And I'm pretty sure they've already saved a copy of those videos. The aforementioned defamatory statements published by Jones have caused the plaintiff to suffer embarrassment, humiliation, mental anguish, and emotional distress. I'm just going to skip through some of this. Okay, so the aforementioned defamatory statements distributed, published, and repeated by Kibi has also caused the plaintiff reputation and character within the profession and industry, including but not limited to among her fans and with prospective business relationships. And pursuant to, now I actually looked up these codes, pursuant to OCGA 5112, 51512, and OCGA 51511A, on February 28th, 2019, plaintiff sent demands for retraction and repudiation to Kibi, and Jones demanded retraction and repudiation of the aforementioned defamatory statements. Now, these are basically Georgia statutes that govern false light and invasion of privacy. Now, at this point, I'm actually just going to skip. Now, it's actually kind of funny because when I read this whole lawsuit, me personally, I didn't think that the lawsuit was well written. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to law school. I have no legal training. But typically, in a lawsuit, it looks like you have a fact section where you provide the facts, and then in the actual counts where you provide your claims, you typically want to cite the statute or case law, and you want to explain how this count basically, you want to explain how they violated or how they basically created this cause of action. So example, count one, slander per se against the defendants, you want to basically allege something here, and then you want to tie in your allegations with the facts, and then you also want to quote some type of case law, or you want to quote a statute, and you want to explain how they slandered you, and did false light, so on and so forth. From reading this, and I did read all of it, to me, all they did was repeat the facts here. They didn't. They didn't actually. They didn't really actually state a claim, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. They have the facts, but they didn't state any actual claims. So one thing I notice about this lawsuit is that they should also, in my opinion, they probably should include Google or YouTube, because Google and YouTube, or whoever it is, right? I think Google owns YouTube, but they should include the platforms where these statements are being made. And the reason I say that is because these platforms allow people to come forth, and they allow people to produce these contents. So to me, it's reasonable that they should bear some type of responsibility, right? And not only responsibility, they have a duty to take, in my opinion, and this is all my opinion, it's not based on law, but I think they have a responsibility to make sure that people aren't acting reckless on their platform, and they also have a duty to take some of this stuff down when people are posting reckless content, right? So that's just my own personal opinion. If I were a lawyer and I had this particular lawsuit, I would definitely include YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. I would include them, right? Because including them may get immediate relief, because once you notify Google, YouTube, Instagram, and these social media platforms, they're going to instantly take it down because they don't want to have to run back and forth to court over some silly nonsense. So I think there was a mistake made here. I think there was a mistake made by not including the social media platforms, because they provide the platforms where people can put this stuff out there, right?